Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're just going to be doing a very short one. This here was supposed to be part of the letter of the producer, which is going to be talking about patch 5.5. It was about 10 minutes long, so the letter from the producer was almost 2 hours, but they only talked about patch 5.5 for like 10 minutes. The rest of the time, they were talking about the scheduling and just sort of maintenance work and all sorts of other things. Everything but what we really wanted to know for patch 5.5. We do have some information. We have a little bit, nothing too spectacular. Mostly stuff that we were already kind of aware of. We did get a couple screenshots. Here is just going to be talking about what we know so far for patch 5.5. Okay, so let's go straight on into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the title. We do have a title for it. No artwork, no trailer yet, but we should be getting that sometime before April, because that's when part 1 is coming out. I was really hoping that they weren't going to be doing a part 1 and part 2 like they usually do for the 0.5 patches. Mostly because I've thought to myself that we could still get 6.0 coming out in the summertime, coming this summer if they just decided to do just a part 1 for 5.5. But thanks to the showcase where we did get some information, we got a lot of information actually on the expansion of 6.0, and it's not going to be coming out until this fall. So they're not going to be having it come out in the summer. I mean, they may come out like maybe at the very end of summer or at the very beginning of fall, something like that. Okay, so moving straight on to patch 5.5, the title is known as Death Onto Dawn. This is going to be the schedule for Death Onto Dawn. Part 1 is going to be released Tuesday, April 13th, which is about 2 months away. And then we're going to have a part 2, which is going to be released at the end of May. We don't have an exact date for that yet. So it's actually just over a month apart by the looks of things. So normally it's like 3 months, so I'm really glad for that. I guess it's kind of to make up for the fact that we are going to be having to wait another couple months before patch 5.5. Yeah, this year has all kind of screwed us over thanks to 2020, so... Okay, we are going to go straight on into what's to come in patch 5.5. So of course we do have the new main scenario quest, though it's going to be split between parts 1 and 2. And we don't really have too much more information, except we do know for a fact that this is going to be like the grand finale for Shadowbringers, and it's just going to be the prologue to set everything up for Endwalker. So no other information yet, except for the fact that we do have one cut screen that they were willing to show us. So here it is. We are back in Alamigo. We're back in the conference room, or like the royal hall. So we have one side of the table, we have all the scions, including Grahatia, we have the Warrior of Light, the twins, Thancred and Urianger. I don't see Yestola, so I'm guessing that she's off doing something else. But Thancred and Urianger are here with us, so it does look like they've returned from their scouting of the Golem Empire and of Ishbard, so they are probably returning to give us a full report of what's going on. And on the other side of the room, we have kind of like the Alliance leaders plus Lise. I am really looking forward to seeing what they all have planned here, because now that the whole thing with tempering is being resolved, Limsa Lumensa, for one, is heading to a new age of peace, hopefully. So I'm guessing that they are really going to sit down and discuss what they are going to do about the Golem Empire now. So yes, we do have a new instance dungeon, which is Palthon, and it is Trust System compatible. So at first I thought that this was one of the lands that we would be visiting inside of Ishbard, like maybe just beyond the Gimlet Dark. However, after looking at the next cutscene, I realized it is much more likely that this is part of the Amaja camp. So if you look up here, we look like we are somewhere in Thanalan. It looks like we are actually like in the heart of the Amaja's campsite. in like their own little city. And if you remember at the end of patch 5.4, it did state that Udal was trying to negotiate peace with the Almaja. However, many of their people were suddenly disappearing and they were blaming mankind for that. So it looks like we're going to be heading straight here to see what's going on. And we do see the tower in the background, so I think we are actually going to be getting our first look to what the tower is going to be doing and what its whole purpose is and everything. So yeah, we are getting the one new dungeon, and so we're moving on from there. So we do have the New Chronicles of a New Era quest, and it's the final chapter of the Sorrows of Wyatt. So if you remember from last time, we confronted the Emerald weapon and it was destroyed. And there's still one more weapon left. It's the diamond weapon, and we do have a screenshot of what it looks like here. So it looks like we're inside of some Garlean base. It looks like the weapon is all but up and operational. There's the jerk, who I seriously hope that we do get to kill before the end of all this. But yeah, it is confirmed to be our new trial. It's known as the Cloud Deck, and we also get that the normal and the extreme version, as we all expect. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be getting another dragon mount at the end of all this, and I'll get more to that in just a moment. But this is going to be wrapping up the Sorrows of Wyatt, probably going to be wrapping up kind of Gaius' story with his adopted kids, including Alphonse and Ellie. We still need to find out what's going to happen with them. I'm pretty sure that at least one of them is going to die, but I do hope that one of them does pull through. Don't know who yet. But moving on, we do have the final act of the New Alliance raid, which is the Yorhai Dark Apocalypse, Chapter 3. And they won't tell us what it is. So the entire New Alliance raid is going to be a complete secret. We won't have any information about it, at least not until much later. I mean, it would not at all surprise me if they decided to keep this whole thing secret until release day. I mean, it would not surprise me if they did that. They could still might mention something about it later on during the second letter from the producer for 5.5, but we do have one screenshot. And we're back inside the puppet's bunker, and we have this strange orb thingy, which apparently is Anog, one of the two twins. The second twin, Konog's lying there face down, so I don't think that this is going to be ending well for those two, so I do hope that they do have a happy ending. After that, they do just have some minor information for us, such as the usual job adjustments, including PEV and then PvP adjustments. Nothing really big there. They did show us a cutscene of some armor that we're going to be getting. I mean, I do predict we're going to be getting some new tombstones here, and I'm guessing that this is going to be like the fending gear that we can get from all that. It looks really cool. It looks awesome. They did talk a little bit more about Boja and upgrading the resistance weapon. So upgrading requires completion of the Save the Queen story quests. Requirements up to patch 3.5 will be eased. Upgrading will be possible while playing through the Bojan Southern Front. Upgrades in patch 5.45 will require completion of story quests up to patch 5.35. And upgrades in the patch 5.5 and onwards will require completion of story quests from patch 5.45. So I know it sounds a little confusing, but basically you have to play through all of the story quests for Save the Queen to be able to move on, and all the parts that they had for upgrading the resistance weapons have been made a little bit easier. Also, quests that must be completed once per job, only beginning the upgrade process and then moving on to the finishing one. So basically, once you start with a job, you can't really switch to another one until it's completed. Quests that must only be completed once per character, intermediate quests, and not all quests are required to complete for each job. So I'm guessing what that means is once you start upgrading a weapon with a certain job, you're kind of stuck with that until the end, and once you do the first one, then maybe the next few are not going to be as difficult. I'm guessing that's how they're going about it. They do also improve the rewards for Castrum Lacus Latori, which I was actually wondering about because this duty has become bottlenecked both for unlocking the Lubrium Regane and completion of the resistance weapons. So because it's become so difficult to find players who actually want to join in this duty, you can't really blame them for that. They are going to be improving the rewards so that it gives you a little bit more incentive to join there. And there's actually going to be additional rewards added to it, and they're going to maybe provide a listing of that later on. There's also the Save the Queen update, the final step in the Resistance weapons upgrades, as well as probably the fight for Boja. We're going to be upgrading requires the completion of the Save the Queen story quests, and we do have a brand new area, no screenshots or anything. All that we know for sure is that its name is called Zadnor. So we do have the Bojan Southern Front, and we do have kind of the underground remains of the royal palace of Queen Brunhilde. So I'm wondering what we're going to be having after that. What else is to come is that we are getting a update for the Unreal Trial. As you know right now, it is Titan. Yeah, hopefully that won't be as torturous as Titan. We also are getting some more crafter updates, including more expert recipes, challenging content geared towards crafters are going to be added. Looking forward to that. We have new high-level equipment and expert use of crafting skills, probably going to be updating, or I guess upgrading our Dragon Song War tools, or Ishgardian tools. And players will earn achievements and unique crafting tools. Okay. Yeah, we focused a lot on crafting and gathering for this expansion. Speaking of Gatherer, there are some Gatherer updates. Maps open through the Gathering log will indicate areas where gathering points have appeared, and we now have a listing of fish to be released at fishing holes that's going to be added. So I guess after we do all of our fishing, we have the choice to release them back in there instead of just throwing it away. We do have the Ishgardian Restoration update. If you recall with patch 5.4, this is where we actually finished the Ishgardian Restoration. Well, where I am on the Lamia server, we haven't finished it yet, but it is supposed to be completed here. I do know that some places like Toneberry have already finished it. But from here on out, the Firmament will periodically celebrate its completion. So I'm guessing that they are going to be having parties there once in a while. And during these periods, the locals are going to be holding fates. So kind of like what we have been doing, like with these special fates, I'm guessing that we can earn some Sky Builder scripts from here. Looking forward to that. We do have a new custom delivery client that's going to be related to the Firmament. So kind of like with Aeltor, where we have the dragons there, like if you go wandering about the Firmament, you do see them there. It could be that's part of it, not really sure just yet. They didn't give us a name, I'm sure we'll find out soon. We do have some triple triad updates, adjusting the use of a 4-star cards in your decks. So hopefully that means that we can actually start adding some higher cards into our decks at once, including an acquisition rates are going to be adjusted, and a reward will be added for obtaining all triple triad cards. Okay, so that's going to be interesting to see. We also have the Explorer mode update. New duties are going to be added, which are the level 70 dungeon. Level sync and item level sync can also be disabled in here. I guess that really depends on what kind of moves that you want to use when you're doing the Explorer mode. Personally, I don't really see if that's going to make much of a difference. And also, we have instruments that can be used inside the Explorer mode so that you can play your flute or trumpet or whatever. For the miscellaneous updates, we have new indicators for bonuses while ocean fishing is going to be added. And a brand new instrument will also be added to the performance feature. Not sure what that could be just yet. I'm guessing guitar? That'd be cool. Anyway, a reward for obtaining all trial mounts from the X.5 patch series is also going to be added. So these are the dragon mounts, or the drake mounts. And so this is the reward that we get. Not at all what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting like a really big, like maybe like Bahamut shaped kind of dragon. Kind of like what we've been getting up till now. But yeah, it looks like some kind of machine, like a maybe like Alagon, like kind of shaped after Bahamut. But it's a dragon shaped like glider or like jet plane or something. That's the reward that you get from obtaining all the other dragon mounts in the game. And finally, the last thing they talked about here, at least for content for the game, is new Ultimate Trial, which is the Dragon Song War Ultimate. So this is supposed to be a reimagining of the Dragon Song War with a what-if scenario. Now, originally, it was planned to be released during patch 5.55, so with part 2. However, because of the scheduling being delayed because of the pandemic, as well as other complications, they needed to prioritize the development of other content. So this was kind of pushed to the side, and the situation is now at a point where it could affect the development of Endwalker if they try to focus on it. So they decided, instead of releasing it early like it was supposed to on schedule, they're going to postpone it for the good of Endwalker, and is presently going to be scheduled to be released in patch 6.1. So I'm surprised about the idea of a Dragon Song War Ultimate. Not really sure what that's going to have. Again, I'm willing to bet that it has something to do with Nidhogg. Ooh, maybe like we have a battle with like Nidhogg, Race Valgar, and like maybe other dragons. Anyway, we'll find out in 6.1, which I don't think is going to be coming out for at least a whole year, so oh well, what can you do? Anyway, everyone, that's going to be it for now. That's pretty much everything that they did talk about for the upcoming patch of 5.5, Death Unto Dawn. So, we are going to be getting another letter from the producer shortly before April 13th, which is where part 1 comes out, and the next one's going to be revealing the artwork, the trailer, possibly more information. This here is just like the very basics, and so it was only like 10 minutes long. I was really disappointed. I was actually expecting to have a lot more information, especially like with the showcase and everything having come out before, but I guess maybe that was the point. Anyway, everyone, that's going to be it for everything we know for patch 5.5 for right now. I hope you're all looking forward to April. We do still have some time to get everything ready. I can't wait. So until then, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and you all take care. Bye!